Hi, my name is Rachel Addison Miller, and this past year I did the Modern Classroom Project. I am the business educator at Lee County Area Technology Center, and this was something that I really enjoyed doing and learning about. One of the first things that when we started this process that they had us do was mastery checks. And so students should reach mastery before they move forward. I really enjoyed this concept because I think a lot of times we tend to leave kids behind. They just, if they're not caught up, if they're not with the class, well, we've got to keep moving forward. Because this is self-paced, they're able to actually take their time where they need to and actually learn the content. All mastery checks were created with multiple retakes in mind. I used Canvas because it allows you to have a bank of questions, and then with that bank, they can have multiple shots at it. And then the mastery check is always aligned to the standards. So this is an example of the one of the mastery checks that I gave. My first unit that I did was checking and banking. And so this was a question on the account number. Which one of these is it? The next thing that we did was instructional videos. Instructional videos, this was probably one of the hardest parts for me because I'm a talker, and finding that a video can only be a short window of time really needs to be under that 10-minute mark. That's kind of tough for me. But the videos should come with clear visuals. You should have an energetic tone, and then engagement through the guided notes and questions. So sometimes I would use Edpuzzle for designing this because it will actually pause the video and students can answer questions. But for this specific unit, I did a guided note, and so as I was talking and going through the lesson, students would be able to make notes on that. And then the final thing that we had was the self-pacing plan, and that provided a clear track for students so that they could see where they were at and monitor their success. And also it defined the must do, should do, and aspire to do. So must do items were in that red, that they absolutely had to do that before they could move on from that unit. Should do things are by the name, they should do them. And then aspire to do is things that, again, it's great if they did it, but they didn't have to. So here's the self-pacing plans that I made. As you can see, the must-do is in the red, and I provided a guide for them. And then if students did not reach mastery, you can see at the very last thing was how to write a check and was it mastered. And if it wasn't, then they needed to go back, and if they did not do like the aspire to-dos, they needed to go back and complete those before they tried again at that mastery. I really enjoyed this, the thought of having a modern classroom, specifically again because all of my students would be gaining that mastery before they moved forward. And it also allowed a lot of one-on-one time with the students, it seemed, because they were actually actively engaged in their work, and then I could be able to pull a student out and work with them individually.